G'day guys, welcome back again. I'm doing a nice bright pour for you today. Blues and orangey reds with my glue and water mix. So this one has got 65% glue and 35% water. So I've just done 650 grams of glue and 350 grams of water. So I've weighed them and popped them in there. And for cells today, 100% silicone oil. So in my cups I have got 65 grams of pouring medium and 65 grams of paint. So by 6 colours, it's about 800-ish grams. I need 800 grams for this size canvas. It's a 30 by 60 centimetre or 12 by 24 inch. So I'm going to put 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm after lots of cells today. So I'm not really going for much background today, but I just want a lot of those big, juicy, plump, multicoloured cells is what I'm going for in this pour. And I won't put any in the navy. The navy can act as my black, so I won't put any in there. I give it a good stir. It's quite a thick mix, it can handle it. I don't want big streaks of oil to come up in my pour, like unmixed oil. I don't want big streaks that are going to form a caterpillar or a worm maybe and get like a long elongated cell which is full of oil. I don't want that, so I'm going to give them a good mix. So can you see that? It's a good amount of paint sitting on top, the trace where the paint hits the other paint in the cup. It's leaving a good mound, and a mound on top of a mound on top of a mound. So that's what I'm after. Right, let's get to layering. I'm going to do 4 cups today, and I'm not going to flip them really fast. I'm going to flip them and drag them just a little bit. I just want the paint to sort of fall out on its own. Don't really want to drag it out too much. I've been baking my Christmas cake today. I soaked all the fruit and nuts about a week ago in a combination of brandy and Cointreau. Yum yum. And today was the day of baking it. So it's in the oven. It's been in for 3 hours, and then I added another 15 minutes. And then I added another 15 minutes, and I thought, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm just going to come and pour. So I'm sure the timer will go off shortly, but it'll be fine. The last one I did last year was a little bit soft in the middle. I wasn't that happy with it, so I'm going to give it a good extra half an hour at least in this one. And then when it comes out, I've got some more brandy to paint over the top. Brandy with a little bit of sugar, so it's not too bitter. A little bit of sugar melted into it. So I've got my blues, then my white, and then my warm colours, just separating them with a little bit of white. And I'll do 2 layers of each colour. I don't really know why I'm baking a Christmas cake. My family don't really like it. My husband doesn't eat Christmas cake. My kids don't eat Christmas cake or fruit cake. My father will have some, but I think it's just a tradition, you know. I kind of feel that I need to get into the Christmassy mood by baking a Christmas cake. And someone will eat it. I'll no doubt take some into work in the new year, and the girls at the hospital will eat it. And Karen, naughty Karen from Waterfall Acrylics, I saw her eating a chocolate brownie. I did on one of your recent pours, and that has started me craving brownies. So I've been in a big baking mood today and made a batch of brownies. So thank you for that, Karen. I really don't need it. It looks so good. But yeah, it's still warm. I did it before I made my Christmas cake, so it's still warm. I'll save it for tomorrow. I do prefer it the day after when it's gone a little bit more fudgy. So baking madly. I do tend to bake a lot coming up to Christmas time. And shortbread, all those yummy Christmas treats. And fudge, peanut brittle, all that kind of thing. I was talking about my fudge the other day, and I've had a few people say, make a video on your fudge. And I thought, well, that's a bit strange. People will get a real shock if they've been watching my acrylic pouring and then all of a sudden there's a video on how to make caramel fudge. Don't know that that would go down too well. But yeah, they're brownies, yum, lots of walnuts, nice and fudgy. Isn't it funny how you see somebody eating something and then you want it too? We'll have to have a pouring day where we all eat brownies, hey? All right, back to my sort of yellowish colour. I'll go through these colours in a minute once I've flipped my cups over. And I've got the next size up in my cups. I was having trouble flipping my cups because they were this really thin plastic like this, and they just crush. As soon as I pick them up, they just crush, and I didn't have much control over my flip and drag, so I've gone up to the next size, which is a little bit stronger. Still can fit plenty of paint in there, so that's all right. Probably better having this size actually, but just 4 instead of my usual 5. It's a bit easier to flip them when they're not overflowing with paint, when you've got a little bit of space at the top. I did make a tiny little bit of extra of the navy. Do I want to put it on top? Yeah, I'll put it on top. I have got a little bit of extra navy from a pour that I did earlier today, and I'll use some of that for my corners. I do like the way the navy contrasts with the lighter colours to make the beautiful multicoloured cells. One of my favourite colours is navy. It's just gorgeous. Alright, wipe my hands. This glue and water mix, it's great, but it's so sticky. Alright, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So much easier to flip these bigger cups over. Right, so colours, I have got Olive Global Impasto, warm yellow, warm red. It's basically a light orange and a dark orange really. So those ones. And then for my blues, I have my Deep Space, which is the navy. This one is cool blue with a touch of cobalt added, just to lighten it just a touch. I didn't want it to be too close to the navy. And then I have got my pale blue, which is kind of an aqua, it's peacock, and white. So those are my colours. Right, now my extra little bit of navy that I was telling you about. It's gone a bit thick sitting there. I'm going to add a touch of water to it, just tap water. And I do like the corner paint to be a little bit thinner, just so that the other colour can easily flow over the top of it. Because if this little corner is quite thick, the paint's having trouble to flow over it. So I do like it to be a little bit thinner. Alright, so let's just pour some of that on. I might go up there as well actually. A little bit up the side, just in case I can't get there. Put that up there, and I've got my little handy spatula just to ease that paint over the side there, cover that. have had a bit of silicone in it, that paint. That navy, by the looks of it. I think I used it for an earlier swipe. It's okay. I'll be covering it, no doubt, or most of it. I'll cover most of it. It's just the little corners if I don't get there. Alright, that'll do. Now, can't waste too much time. I've got my cake in the oven. Alright, got my heat gun ready. Okay, I've got some cells showing up, that's a good thing. So I want to just basically flip the cup over and not drag it too much, like that. I would have liked to have dragged it a little bit more to get that paint down. Come on, paint. Alright, it's okay. Now the other one, I'm going to flip the other way. Oops, I've just knocked all my cups over. Little empty cups. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. And this one this way. Basically just letting it flow out. How weird's that? The two that I've flipped this way have got more orange in them, and the two that I've flipped that way have got more blue in them. Go figure. It's exactly the same combination, exactly the same layering. How does that work? Spooky. What do you reckon? How does that work? I have no idea. It's a caterpillar thing there. I might be able to tilt that off. We'll see what happens. Could be a little blob of silicone oil that I didn't mix in properly. Now this one doesn't need any torching at all. I'll torch this one a bit here and torch that one a little bit there. Give that a minute for the cells to pop up. Got a lot of blue here, blue on blue. Don't burn my paint, flamethrower. Alright, that'll do. Lots and lots of cells. And it's good that they're nice little cells, nice little round ones. So those are the nice ones that are good to stretch out and turn into nice big juicy plump cells. Right, let's do this. Side to side first. I'm going to take it right over here and try and get rid of some of that orange there. There goes my timer. That's okay. And back. Just taking my time with it. Just wanted to get rid of some of that orange, that's all. Now we've covered that side. Now we'll go down here, cover this side. I'm not sure if I spoke to you previously about how if you flipped your cups and then you drag a little bit of paint up your sides and you get that line up the side that I really don't like. And then once you start tilting, the line goes all wobbly. Really don't like that, so I'm not going to be doing that anymore. When you flip and then you put a little bit of extra on the side, that little bit, it's never good. Ends up being a wobbly little line. Alright. Now the other thing I need to do is I'm going to put my hand underneath because I want to get some of these cells to move. Just pushing up underneath the canvas in the middle here, where the paint has pushed together. All right, that should do. And over. I might have to actually go and get my cake out. Now I'm worried about it. Just bringing the paint over there, and then I can go straight down because I don't want to lose all this. There we go, just enough. I know it's not quite over, but I'll touch that up later. All right, flip it around. Now, just give me 1 minute. I'm going to go and get this Christmas cake out of the oven. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. I really should have done it before I started pouring, shouldn't I? Anyway, it's done. Looks gorgeous. Smells divine. Let's do this. Now, I want to see if I can stretch. Go away, fly. There's always a fly in here. Stretch this paint out a little bit more in the middle here. Put my hand underneath. Stretch these gorgeous cells out here in the middle. Alright, now I've got paint all over my arms. My goodness, I'm making such a mess today. Okay, now we haven't got much more to go, just down there. I'm going to keep these navy corners. As you know, I like my navy corners. Just a bit of zigzagging. I'll try and push some of that over a touch. Get my hand under there, if I can. Just open that up a little bit. Alright, oh, I've gone over. Didn't even realise I'd gone over while I was doing that. Bring the weight of it back again so we don't lose too much. Woohoo! Do you guys like that one? Happy with that? This side's a little bit stretched, it's not too bad. Might be able to take a bit of the weight of this down there a bit. Looks like it's working. I'm going to flip that around. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so covered in paint. Look at my arms. I have to have a shower after this. Marathon effort here. Now, I'm going to see if I can move some of these cells over that way. Put my hand under here. See if I can move them that way a bit. Love these colours, you guys. What do you think? Pretty pretty. Okay, now let's just see if I can fix that corner there. I'll take the weight of the paint down there and see if I can get it to go that way a little bit. Not really. I'm going to ruin it. I best just leave it. Best leave it. Hadn't I? Haven't got much here where I had the blue next to the blue in the cup. That's looking a little bit better. I've managed to tip a little bit of that off and stretch this out a bit. I would like to stretch that bit out a bit more there. Let's see if I can do that. Just bring my hand under the canvas, seeing if I can stretch it out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Just have to watch everything to see where the paint's going. Oh, I've got to get rid of these gloves. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Right. Now, I'm going to torch over here where it's gone a little bit overstretched and a little bit muddy. And a bit in here where it's just mainly blue. And a bit up here where it's gone a bit stretched and muddy as well. So this pour, as I said, I'm going for lots of cells. I'm not going for much background. Not much is happening over there in that blue, is there? That's where I had the two blues next to each other. Now I'll just stretch out these little cells a little bit that I've heated to come up. They're pretty cute, aren't they, all these little ones that have popped up? You don't have to have all the same size cell. You can have lots of different shapes. Now I'm going to touch up my corners where I've stuck my fingers in them to hold the canvas. This was a really messy pour, you guys. Covered in paint. I was putting my hands underneath to push the middle out. It's probably an indication that I had a bit too much paint because I wasn't able to stretch the paint. It all went into the middle. So if that's happening to you and your middle area is getting all squished, then it's probably that you've got too much paint on there and it's got nowhere to go. Sides stretch out, they go over the edge, but the middle, it's got nowhere to go. So just do what I did, pop your hand underneath, stretch them out. Okay, I'm just going to use my little tool now to clean underneath. Oh, I've missed a bit there, look at that. Oh, I need some of this pale aqua colour over there. Just put it there on the top and let it run down on its own. So it makes a pretty pattern. And over here I need some lighter colour if I've got some. There's a little bit under here. Not really a match, but that's okay. And I think that's everywhere covered. Didn't do too bad a job of covering the whole thing. Love those colours. Beautiful, beautiful colours. Stunning, aren't they? Just stunning. Would have liked a little bit more to be happening in here, but doesn't want to. Doesn't want to play the game. Try with the little guy, see if there's anything under there. No, nothing wants to come out over there. And that's the problem you have when you put two colours that are too close to each other, layer them in the cups, you don't get much of a reaction. So if you've got two contrasting colours, you do get a really nice reaction. So you had the navy with the darker orange in here, and you can see there's a dark orange ring with a blue, a navy centre. So you get a real contrast with that. But where you've got two blues, They're pretty close to each other, not so much. If I had a navy blue, or I did have the navy blue, but that's the light blue and that's the mid blue next to it. But that's okay. And I like my navy corners. I really love those. Right, let's take you in for a close-up. Sorry about the jumping around with the camera. I'm just trying to get it centered for you. It's pretty, isn't it? Really love those colours. Not a lot of white showed up. But yeah, it's really pretty. I was worried it was going to go mud, but little tiny bit of mud, not too much. I'll actually take this down and show you because you can't really see. I'm really happy with it, so I'm going to show you in close up. All right. Here we go. The sides are pretty as well, how the paint's gone over. This middle bit's really stunning. The yellows and the dark orange against the blues, how pretty is that? And then over here, where I torched afterwards, got those little tiny cells popping up. Really pretty little multicolored cells. So overall, I think it's a good result. I really enjoy those colours. I think I'll do that again. Maybe make my mix a tiny little bit thicker and just see if I can maybe keep my cell shape, because I've lost some of the roundness on some of those. So I will be back for another pour. Maybe not straight after this one, but sometime down the track I'll try these colours again and maybe reduce the blue a little bit. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you for the next pour. Go check on my cake. I'm going to brush it with brandy. Bye for now.